What is up, Prealgebra? This is lesson 77. Our objective is, how do you find the volume of prisms and cylinders? So there's a general formula for the prisms and cylinders, and the volume is equal to big B times H, or capital B times H, where that B is very important. B is the area of the base. So that capital B, it's capital because it's representing the area of the base, not just one length or one side of the base, but the area of the base. And then a couple of them that we'll be working with fairly often are cylinders, and that's where that big B is actually a circle. The base is a circle. And so we know the formula for the area of a circle is pi r squared, right? So if you want to put pi r squared in where the B is, you end up with, or here's the B, the volume of a cylinder is equal to pi r squared H, so the area of the base times the height. And the other fairly common one is a rectangular prism. That's kind of like a box. And so then the base of that is a rectangle. I already know the formula for the area of a rectangle is length times width. So if you put length times width in for that big B, you get the volume is length times width times height, which is probably something that you're fairly familiar with, having seen before. Alright, so this is example 1. It says sketch the base of this triangular prism and find the volume. Well, they give us a nice hint saying that it's a triangular prism, meaning that the base is a triangle. So if we're going to sketch a base of that triangle, the base of that prism, which is a triangle, I'm trying to sketch this one right here. It doesn't have to be to scale, it just says sketch it. So one of these is 8 centimeters, the other one is 6 centimeters, and notice this thing length right here is the same as that one, so one's going to be 10 centimeters. So that is the base. So we need to find the area of the base. So big B is going to equal to 1/2 6 times 8, because that's to find the area of a triangle. And remember, to find the area of a triangle, you have to multiply the base and the height. The base and the height are perpendicular to each other. That's why I picked the 6 and the 8. And then since it's a triangle, I did 1/2 base times height. If this was a rectangle, then I just would have done 6 times 8. So to simplify that, we end up with 3 times 8, because 1/2 times 6 is 3, which is 24. Since it's area, this would be 24 centimeters squared. But that's not my answer, that's just the big B. So to find the volume, I need to multiply big B times H. Well, we already know what big B is. That's 24 centimeters squared times the height. Well, the height is the distance between this base and this one, so that's going to be this length right here. So multiply that by 12 centimeters. That comes out to be 288. That's 24 times 12. Centimeters squared times centimeters gives me centimeters cubed, and that makes sense because whenever I'm talking about volume, I'm talking about cubic, some things that will fill something up. So the answer to this one is going to be 288 centimeters cubed. Alright, this is example 2. It says a AA battery is approximately this many millimeters long, has a diameter of this. Find the approximate volume of a AA battery. So again, the volume is going to be big B times H, but since this is a cylinder, right, we could use the pi r squared H that we talked about on the first slide. So all we need is the R and the H. Well, we know that the diameter is 14, so that means that the radius is going to be 7, halfway across. So this is going to be pi times 7 squared times the height, and the height is the distance between the two bases, that base and that base. So it's going to be the 50. Well, and it also tells us use 22 over 7 for pi, so this is going to be 22 over 7 times 7 squared, or can I go ahead and just say 7 squared is 49? 7 times 7 is 49, times 50. Well, 7 goes into 7 one time, and 7 goes into 49 7 times. So now all I need to do is multiply the 22 times the 7 times the 50 and divide it by 1 times 1 times 1, so it'll just be the top number. And whenever you multiply 22 times 7 times 50, you get, I don't know why I'm changing to red now, you get 7,700, and this would be millimeters cubed, because in here, this is millimeters. So whenever you square it, that'd be millimeters squared, and this is 50 millimeters. So that's where we get the millimeters cubed. So the volume is equal to 7,700 millimeters cubed. Okay, this one's kind of a little bit of an irregular shape. It says the walls of a garage are 8 feet high, and the peak of the garage roof is 12 feet high. The floor of the garage is 20 feet square. Sketch the base, then find the volume of the garage. So let's do a sketch of the base here. It's going to look something like this. I'm an awesome artist. Alright, so I know this is 20 feet. I know the walls are 8 feet. And it tells me the height that's between here and here is 12 feet. Well, I know to here is 8 feet. Right, this distance is 8 feet. So that means this distance right up here must be 4 feet. So that distance right there is 4 feet. So it's kind of two parts. So this is our base here. But the base kind of has two parts. It has the triangle part, and it has the rectangle part. The rectangle part's a little bit easier. That's just going to be 20 times 8. Which is going to be 160 feet squared. So that's the area of that one. And over here, the area of that triangular part is going to be 1/2 the base length, which is 20 feet, times the height, which is 4 feet. Well, 1/2 times 20 is going to give me 10 feet. And the height is 4 feet. Multiplying those two together, and I get 40 feet squared. So then for the area of the base is going to equal to that 160 plus the 40, so that comes out to be 200 feet squared. Again, that's not my answer, because I'm looking for the volume, which is big B times H. So all I've found is that big B. So this is going to be 200 feet squared times the height. Now the height is not this height. The height is not this height. The height is the distance between the bases. Here is one base. Here's the other one, right? So the distance between the two bases is what we call the height. So that's going to be 20 feet. It's going to be 4,000 feet cubed. Yeah, 4,000 feet cubed. So that's going to be my volume. Alright, so your homework is a worksheet. And actually, none of them are as hard as this with word problems. Most of them are pictures you can figure out from there. So yeah, good luck with that.